This is most definitely not my kitchen because I'm in Costa Rica. Welcome to a vacation edition of Tea with LeiLani. Okay, so the tea that I have today is called Lippia Alba. I would show it to you like in my hand, but people drink this, and so I don't think I should stick it in my hands and then stick it back. How rude. That would be so rude. But it's the tea that I have here, and it is delicious. So while I am on vacation, I'm going to talk about vacation and questions that I get from businesses that we work with. So number one question I get is like, well, what do people in our industry normally offer? And I'll tell you this, it actually doesn't change so much from industry to industry. It changes from company size and budgets. And so I always say at minimum, you should offer at least 1 week vacation accrued. So that means figure out how many pay periods divided by how many hours you want a year. And that's the accrual every pay period that they would get. I suggest at least a week. 2 would be even better. 2 would be great. 3 would be phenomenal for starting. And then as time goes on, let's say at 3 years or 2 years, you increase it by another, usually a week. And then I've seen vacations cap out all the way to 240 hours a year for someone who's worked for a company over 15 years. Of course, there's budgets that have to be considered for this type of thing, but that's typically what I see. The next thing that I typically don't see all the time, but definitely should happen, is you should have a vacation policy. So you need to write out what people are going to get, who's going to get it, when they're going to get it. Is it full-time? Is it part-time? We don't see part-time vacation a lot, or it's prorated to the part-time hours. What else? When someone can take vacation, if there's any blackout periods, like let's say you're a retail company and the holidays are important, so you wouldn't have that in there. What else? Ooh, pay on termination. So some states require you to pay out that vacation and it's seen as income. So you have to pay it. Like it's the bank that the employee, it belongs to them and they never lose it. Or some states say you don't have to pay it out, but you better have a policy that says you don't. So figure out if you're in a state where you have to write into a policy it will not get paid out on termination. Another thing that I tell business owners is, my suggestion, and your CFO would love this, is you don't lump in sick pay with vacation, because sick pay is not required to be paid out on termination in any state. So if you lump it into PTO instead of calling it vacation, you have to pay it out. So just carve out the sick pay so it's not paid out on termination. And I think that's it. I think the other piece is you really need to have a culture that encourages people to take time off. Everyone needs rest and relaxation. It's important that people get time off, but it's also important that they're in an environment where they feel like they can do it without being punished. Hello, US. We need to do better to allow people to take time off, to rest, to rejuvenate, so they can come back even better and just mentally healthy. All right, see you next week.